everyone, welcome. Welcome to day 22 of our 31-day yoga challenge, Yoga for Everybody. I'm Heather, I'm the Bent Yogi, and it's cold where I am right now. It's winter, so my feet every time I'm out, my feet are in boots, stuck in boots. Right? If it's winter where you are, or even if it's not, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe it's not boots that you have your feet shoved into. Maybe you spend a lot of time in the office, your poor feet stuck in shoes. One of my teachers used to call them foot coffins. We free up our feet a lot when we practice, which is awesome. And today it's a special practice, happy feet. So we're going to give our feet a little more attention, practice grounding, and just have a good time. Come onto your mat and let's get started. So go ahead, come on into your downward dog. If you want to start in child's pose, you can start in child's pose. Start to tune into your breath here. Tune into your foundation. And with your head dropped, you can pretty easily take a look at your feet. So you can make this visual connection with your feet. And see your toes. And I like to lift my toes. Feel here if I can spread them apart, and then intentionally and slowly place them back down again. You can feel your feet, you can feel your toes, but can you also feel the space between your toes? And you might have a couple of toes where there really isn't space between them. That's all right, you can feel that too. Take a big breath in here, and a long breath out. And now if you want to begin to walk out your dog a little bit, add in some movement you can. And as you walk out your dog, I'm paying attention to my legs and how it feels in my legs. So today, because we're focusing on feet, how does walking out your dog feel in your feet? Can you feel that shift in your toes? Maybe a little more movement, a little more flexibility in your toes. Again, just creating a little more connection with your feet, with your foundation. And then when you're ready, settle back to center, take a big breath in, and a long breath out. Go ahead and come up onto the tips of your toes. You can bend your knees here, look forward, and then step or jump to the front edge of your mat. Find your halfway lift. Inhale, fold forward, exhale. Inhale, come on up to stand. Reach your hands high, lift up, and as you come up to the tips of your toes. Ooh, my hands might get cut off in this video. And so feel your toes on your mat. Feel if you lose your balance a little bit, that's okay. If you're a little bit wobbly, engage your core, notice your breath. Feel if you can soften your shoulders, lift a little bit higher, take a big inhale, and bring your heels down, bring your hands down to your heart. Set your gaze. Lower your gaze or close your eyes. And together, let's take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Inhale, sweep your hands high, reach up. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Bring your hands to your mat, step back to your high push-up. Forward and halfway down, low push-up. You can drop your knees or come all the way down. Big breath in. Upward facing dog. Pause here. Leading with your heart, soften your shoulders. Can you feel the tops of your feet, your toenails on your mat? Maybe you wiggle your toes around a little bit. Take a big breath in and then back over your toes, back to your downward facing dog. Take a long inhale and a long exhale. Take another deep breath in here, fill up. Exhale, step or jump to the front. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up to stand, rise up, come to the tips of your toes, lift up, heels down, fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, high push up to low push up, exhale. Upward dog, take a big breath in, downward dog, breath out. And I think that happy feet, a happy body is as much about just having some fun with all of this as anything else. Being in your body, feeling your breath, not worrying about what you can't do. Instead, just enjoying what you can do, what we are doing right here, right now. Take a big breath in here. You can come to the tips of your toes. Exhale, step or jump to the front. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to stand. Rise and reach, lift your heels. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. High push up to low push up, exhale. Upward dog. Take a deep breath in. Downward dog, breath out. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. Take a big inhale. And a big exhale. Another deep breath in here. Fill up. Exhale. Step or jump forward. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale. Fold. Once more. Inhale. Come on up to stand. Reach up. Lift up. Come to the tips of your toes. It's okay if you're wobbly or you fall. Fold forward. Exhale. Halfway lift. Inhale. High push up to low push up. Exhale. Upward dog. Take a big breath in. Downward dog. Breath out. Take a big inhale. And a long exhale. And for me, it's a little surprising, right, how much balance is involved in standing on my toes, right? So you might notice that as well. And you might notice if you start to hang on. Feel if you can soften into this. Here, soften your toes, maybe soften your heels down, let your head hang. Take one more big inhale, exhale, step or jump to the front. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold. Utkatasana, chair pose. Set your feet, put a big bend in your knees, hands higher at your heart. Now keep this bend in your knees, and instead of rocking back into your heels, come forward into the balls of your feet, come forward into your toes, and lift your heels, right? So a little bit of balance. Can you feel each of your toes on your mat? Now engage your core, soften your shoulders, and notice if you are kind of hanging on with your toes or clenching your jaw. Just a little bit of softness. Take one more big inhale here. Heels down, fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. High push up to low push up, exhale. Upward dog, take a big breath in. Downward dog, breath out. Right foot steps forward, warrior one. Come on up, reach up. Set your feet. Set your gaze. You can lift your toes here and then place them back down again. My left toes really don't lift a whole lot, right? But you can feel it. Can you separate your toes, a little bit of space, and notice how the weight of your body is distributed in your feet. Right foot, left foot, the big toe side, the baby toe side of your feet, your toes, your heels. Just feeling all of that and feeling how really your feet are connected to your mat. Your feet can be connected to the ground, and we can be connected to the earth, a little more grounded and supported. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, hands come down to your mat. High push up to low push up. Upward dog. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, left foot steps forward. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana. Come on up. And you can really feel or even just acknowledge how it is our connection to the earth that allows us to lift up here in our warrior one, to even simply be here, practicing, breathing, living our lives. You can soften your shoulders, feel your toes, your feet, soften your toes. Equally feeling grounded, that's active and intentional, but then allowing yourself to be supported. Take a big breath in, and a long breath out. A big inhale, and a big exhale. Take one more deep breath in here. Exhale, hands down to your mat. High push up to low push up. Upward dog. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, right foot again. Warrior one, come on up. Now add in your warrior two. Walk your feet a little farther apart. Find your footing and lift your right heel. Feel if you can sink a little more into your right knee. Take a big breath in. Exhale, lightly bring your right heel down. Inhale, lift your right heel, bend your knee. Exhale, heel softly comes down. Soften your toes. Inhale, lift the heel. Exhale, bring your heel down. One more time. Inhale, lift your heel. Exhale, right heel comes down. Take a deep breath in. Hands come down to your mat. High push up to low push up. Upward dog. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, left foot steps forward, warrior one. Rise up. Open out, warrior two. Be generous with the space between your feet, but still feel that you have both feet on your mat, that you are grounding and that you are supported. Now go ahead and lift your left heel, and as you lift up, feel if you can dip a little deeper into your left knee. Stay grounded and connected through your right foot, your right leg. Take a breath in. Exhale, left heel lightly comes down. Inhale, lift that heel. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, lift the heel. Exhale, let it land. One more time. Inhale, lift your left heel. Exhale, heel down, pause, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands come down to your mat. High push-up to low push-up. Upward dog. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, take a breath in. And a breath out. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Once more, big inhale. Exhale, step or jump forward. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Set your feet, come on up, low belly in and up. Again, lift your heels. Keep the bend in your knees. Maybe you can sit a little bit lower. Keep your heart high. Take a big breath in, heels down, fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, chaturanga, low push-up, step or jump back. Upward dog, take a breath in, downward dog, breath out. Right foot steps forward, warrior one. Rise up, open out to your warrior two. Here, straighten your front leg, pivot your toes towards the side edge of your mat. You can bring your hands to your hips or to your low back. Find a little bit of a back bend. Take a big inhale, and then fold forward as you exhale. Here, with your peace fingers, feel if you can catch your big toes. Notice how you feel about touching your toes. Halfway lift on your inhale, and then lengthen and fold as you exhale. So I know a couple people who really are not fond of touching their feet. And if you're one of those people, that's okay. But maybe just explore it a little bit today. Can you catch your big toes with your peace fingers? Can you bring your hands to your feet? So really start to create this connection, more connected with your feet, with your toes, integrating the extremities of your body into really your whole being. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Now come halfway up. Walk your hands towards your right toes, spin your right toes forward, come into your runner's lunge, plant your hands, step back, high push-up to low push-up, upward dog, inhale, downward dog, exhale, come forward to your high push-up, right hand under your right shoulder, heels to your right, side plank, Utkatasana. You can drop your bottom knee or work with your right forearm on your mat. Now draw your left knee up towards your chest, and you can catch your left knee with your left hand, or you can catch your left big toe with your left peace fingers. And you can catch the left big toe with the peace fingers. Go ahead and take that foot out to the left, and then maybe take it up towards the sky. Stay strong through your core. Stay connected through your feet, but also connected through your right hand. Take a big inhale. From here, step that left foot up and forward. Runner's lunge. Rise up to your crescent lunge. You're on the ball of your back foot. And just feel that. All 5 toes of your right foot on your mat. Your right heel lifted, the back of your right knee lifted. Find your cactus arms, your goddess or goalpost arms, and add in a little bit of a back bend. Now feel your whole left foot on your mat. Notice if you start to hang on there, soften. Inhale, come on up to center. Exhale, hands come down. High push up to low push up. Upward dog. A big breath in. Downward dog. Breath out. Left foot steps forward. Warrior one, come up. Open out. Warrior two. Here, straighten your legs, pivot your toes towards the side edge of your mat. This time, toes out, heels in. Your horse pose, your goddess pose. You can draw your hands to your heart and come up onto your tiptoes. Engage your core and absolutely feel if you're a little bit wobbly, feel if your legs shake a little bit. That's totally okay. You can come out of it, come back into it. You can feel like you're a little uncertain. Stay with your breath. Hold your gaze steady. Feel if you can sit a little bit lower. Keep your heels high. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Your feet are so happy that you're giving them this much attention. One more big breath in. Now heels down, straighten your legs. Reach your hands up, a 5-pointed star. You can look up, go back, a big breath in. Swan dive, fold forward, exhale. Pivot your toes in, heels out. You can grab your big toes again, or you can slide your fingers onto the outer edges of your feet, a different connection with your feet, halfway lift, and then fold forward. So if you have your hands under your feet, really, what does that feel like? Do you still feel grounded? Can you wiggle your toes a little bit? Take a breath in and a breath out. Take your hands out from under your feet to release your toes. Come halfway up. Walk your hands towards your left toes. Left toes spin forward. Runner's lunge. Plant your hands. Step back. High push up to low push up. Upward dog. Take a big breath in. Downward dog. Breath out. Come forward to your high push up. Left hand under your left shoulder. Heels to your left. Side plank. Left knee can come down, or you can drop your forearm. And then you can draw your right knee to your chest to catch hold of it. Maybe catch the right big toe with your peace fingers. If you catch that right toe, press the foot out to the right. Now strong core, steady breath. Feel if you can take your right foot up towards the sky. Lift up out of your left shoulder. Long and strong. One more big inhale. Step around, right foot steps up. Runner's lunge, rise up, crescent lunge. Checking with your balance here. Notice if you need to reconnect to your breath, reconnect to your feet. Feel that your left knee, your left heel are lifted. Can you feel your left baby toe on the mat? And then bend your elbows, cactus arms, goddess arms. Let your heart lift here. Track your right knee over your right ankle. Soften your shoulders and your face. One more big inhale, reach straight up. Exhale, hands come down to your mat. High push up to low push up. Upward dog. Take a big breath in. Downward dog. Breath out. Take a big inhale. And a big exhale. Take a deep breath in. And a big breath out. Once more, big inhale here. Exhale. Step or jump to the front. Halfway lift. Inhale, exhale, fold. Utkatasana, chair pose. Here, just a regular old chair pose. Keep your heels down. Let your toes be soft. Draw your hands to your heart. Sit a little bit lower. Big breath in. Twist to your right. Left elbow towards the outside of your right thigh. And here, you can notice if you come forward into the balls of your feet and your toes and you start to hang on, intentionally shift that up. Shift back into your heels. Lift your toes. You can place them back down again. And then open your arms. Left hand reaching down, right hand reaching high. You can come into your side crow if you like. Take one more big inhale here. Fold forward, exhale. Come back to your Utkatasana. Reset. Hands back to your heart. Big breath in, sit low. Twist to your left, right elbow towards the outside of your left thigh. And really, you can take a look at your feet or simply feel them. Are they even? Have you intentionally set your feet? So you're integrating your foundation into this pose. You're integrating your feet into your body. Hands can stay together or come apart. Side crow is an option. Stay grounded. Feel your feet and then lift your heart. A big inhale. Fold forward. Exhale. Walk your feet apart about hips width distance. And once more, with your peace fingers, hook your big toes, palms face each other. Halfway lift, inhale, and then lengthen and fold as you exhale. So if you can't catch hold of your toes, no big deal. But if you are resistant to touching your feet, it's not a big deal, but just notice it. Part of your body, part of your being. Yoga is about connecting all these parts of our body together, all these different pieces of our being together. And this is a really neat circle that you create when you catch hold of your toes with your fingers, right? A loop. And you can feel it. Take a breath in and a breath out. Wait for the toilet to flush. Let's say that again. Take a breath in And a breath out. Release your toes. Walk your feet closer together to touch. And come on up to stand. Rise all the way up. Reach your hands high once more. Lift your heels. And just pause here. Breathe here. You might be able to soften your toes a little bit. Soften your face, your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Heels down. Fold forward. Exhale. Halfway lift. Inhale. High push-up to low push-up. Exhale. Upward dog. Take a big breath in. Downward dog. Breath out. From here, walk your hands back to your feet. Hips stay high. And then walk your feet together and come into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Hands high, heart lifts, low belly in and up. Lift your heels. Soften your gaze, soften your face. Now, keep your heels lifted. Keep bending your knees. Sit down, sit down, sit down until your hips drop onto your heels. You can bring your hands out in front of you. Bring your knees down. Coming into toes pose. I don't know any other name for this pose. Your toes, you can check in with your pinky toes. Make sure they're all pointing forward. Seated on your heels. If that doesn't quite work for you, you can put a block or a towel between your hips and your heels, or even come up a little bit. Hands can come to your heart. You might even slide your knees a little more forward, right? So you start to feel sensation in the soles of your feet and your toes. And if you want to bring your hands back behind you and lift your heart, you can. So this is either not a really big deal, or it's a really big deal, a lot of sensation. Notice if you react. You can drop your head back if that works. Absolutely notice what you're feeling. Take a breath in and a breath out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, if you have your hands back, you might be able to lighten up on your fingers just a bit. Keep your breath steady wherever you are. If you need to come out of it, you can come out of it. Big breath in. Long breath out. And this is actually one of my favorite poses. So to be able to feel your feet in this way, to feel new sensations in your feet, that's pretty amazing. Take a breath in and a breath out. Now if you have your hands behind you, nice and easy start to come up. Before we come out of it, just pause for a moment. So even that shift from hands behind to seated here, right? You might notice different sensations. Is it so overwhelming that you can't breathe and that you're distracted? Or is it manageable enough that you can stay here and breathe? Take a breath in and a breath out. And then go ahead, bring your hands in front of you. Come onto your tabletop. You can untuck your toes and then just lightly tap the tops of your feet on your mat. And once you're ready, cross your ankles, sit back over your heels. Ooh, my ankle's crunched. And come on into a boat pose with bent knees to begin. Let your shoulders roll back. Lift your heart. Here, reach forward. Catch your big toes with your peace fingers. Extend your feet up. Let your shoulders roll back. Belly in and up. Here we are again, holding onto our toes. So notice how that feels for you. Notice if you can keep a steady breath. Then you want to take your legs wide. Let your heels press out. Lift your heart a little higher. Still hold on to your toes, but kind of ease up on the grip a bit. Breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, back to your boat. Keep your feet up. Reach your hands forward. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then slowly lower all the way down. Come onto your back. Set your feet flat on your mat. And you can set up for bridge or wheel. I'm going to set up for a wheel. Feet about hips width distance. As you inhale, lift your hips up, lift your heart up. If you come up for bridge or wheel, set yourself up and then come up onto your tiptoes. And I love this variation of wheel. It just gives me a little more room in the sides of my body. Maybe you lift one heel if that gives you a little more stability, and then the other heel. It's almost like you're walking out your wheel. Take your time. If you lift both heels, still check in. Make sure you're grounded, you feel supported. Feel your breath, a big inhale and a big exhale. And one more deep breath in here. Bring your heels down and gently come all the way down onto your back. Bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall out to the sides for Superbadakonasana. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. And a lot of the times in this pose, our attention is on our upper body, right? Our heartbeat, right? Our belly, Manipura chakra. Can you actually feel the soles of your feet connect? Your toes, you might wiggle your toes a little bit. Feel your toes connect. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. And draw your knees into your chest. Come on into your happy baby. Take your knees wide. Grab the soles of your feet if that works. Feel your hands touch your feet. And if you want to add in some side-to-side movement, you can. Take a breath in. And a breath out. And bring your knees back to your chest. Set your left foot flat on your mat. Take your right foot across your left thigh. So you're setting up your sleeping pigeon variation. And you can keep the left foot down, or you can lift that leg. Draw the left leg into you. And this variation of half pigeon for this practice is intentional. When we're in a more traditional half pigeon, our foot is usually tucked under us. Sometimes it gets a little squashed. So here, right, both feet, they have some space. You can wiggle your toes around. It's nice to flex the right foot here. You might circle your left foot a little bit. Loosen up the ankle. A couple of deep breaths. And our feet are part of our root chakra. It doesn't matter if you don't know anything about the chakras. Right? Part of your roots, your feet, right? Your feet are what connect you to this earth. And when you pause and reflect on that for a moment, that you realize we're pretty disconnected from the earth. Our feet are in shoes a lot. We drive cars a lot or ride on trains or buses. And so much of the earth is paved. So our practice, we get on our mat, we intentionally practice with bare feet. Here, release your hands, release your legs. You can give your knees a squeeze. And then set up your sleeping pigeon on the other side. Right foot flat, left foot comes across the right thigh. You can stay here or lift that right leg. We intentionally practice with bare feet. We intentionally practice cultivating a connection to the ground, reestablishing connection with our feet, with all these different parts of our body. But even in our practice, most of us are practicing on mats inside. So I invite you, after this practice, just to go outside in bare feet for a moment or two. Even if it's winter, right? Just for a moment or two, walk outside, walk out on the ground, in the snow, on the earth, just for a moment or two and feel that. And it's something that you can make part of a daily ritual, grounding and reconnecting with your feet, reconnecting with your body, reconnecting with the earth. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. Maybe a little bit of movement with the right foot. Wiggle your toes. Take a big inhale. And a big exhale. Release your hands, your legs here. Draw your knees in, give them a squeeze. And then set up for your Shavasana. For Shavasana, go ahead and take your legs either up on your mat, or if you're near a wall, go ahead and scooch up against a wall and let your feet be lifted. And feel that, because most of the time our feet, our legs are holding us up. So here, you give your feet a little lift. Get yourself set up. Softly close your eyes, relax your jaw. Take a big breath in, and then empty out. Here, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Go ahead and point your toes up. And then pull your toes down towards you, press your heels up. And draw your knees into your chest. Roll to one side and make your way to seated. Draw your hands to your heart. Set your gaze, lower your gaze, or close your eyes. And together, let's take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Drawing your thumbs to your forehead, to your third eye center. Together we say, Namaste. Thanks for joining me for practice today. Thanks for joining for this challenge. Hope your feet are happy. I hope you are happy. Tomorrow, a special treat, a restorative practice. So until then, take care of yourself, take care of each other. I'll see you on your mat tomorrow.